Hello and good evening, everyone. It is biting cold out there. Wind chill weather is on its way. How low will we go? Your forecast is coming up next, and an update on another chance of a winter storm in the region. The latest coming up right now.
Now, a Hutch's weather update with Chief Meteorologist Hutch Johnson, brought to you by Robert Gibb and Sons.
All right, it's cold outside, and these are the feels like temperatures out there right now. The headlines showing that we're already approaching the 20 below category. Look at Winnipeg, 27 below is what it feels like on exposed skin. Wind chills holding up near the zero mark here in Bemidji, Fargo, as well as Lakes Country out here in the Alexandria area. But boy, it's really plowing in from the north, and check out what's going on a little bit farther to the north. These are right on par with what our models were saying as we went through the last couple of days and kept keeping you updated here. So we do have some nasty wind chills across the area. Zooming in, showing you some of the colder ones out there. Belcourt, 28 below is that current wind chill. Now, exposed skin can freeze very quickly in less than 15 to 30 minutes. And when skin freezes, that's called frostbite. So frostbite sets in quick. Make sure you're covering your ears, and you know what? Just make sure you have a survival kit in your vehicle if you must travel. This cold air is on its way into the area as we head through the night tonight. Now, we've had some crazy drops in temperature across our area, as you can imagine. Once again, here's a look at the change in temperature over the last 24 hours. So 24 hours ago, the Minot area was significantly warmer than it is right now by the tune of 22 degrees. So 22 degrees colder tonight, and it's 30 degrees cooler in and around the Dickinson area. Glasgow, Montana, 15 degrees colder. Williston, it's just nasty cold out there right now. So air temperatures are on their way down. We've actually warmed up a bit in parts of Lakes Country, as temperatures last night were very similar to what we're seeing right now. That is a look at that. Now let's take a look at this radar that has been active throughout the day. If you do have questions, make sure on Hutch's Weather you get the opportunity to drop those in. Brenda and Nathan, good to have you both on board. Appreciate both of you joining me here on Hutch's Weather. We are still seeing a band of some light snow showers here in the eastern third of North Dakota, extending into Brown County, South Dakota, near Aberdeen. The Big Sky Country of Montana, seeing some flakes out there near Fort Peck Reservoir. And in southern Minnesota, we have some showers near the Wilmer area out towards, say, Hutchinson, and out into the Brookings area, down all the way into parts of central Iowa. So it's very cold out there, and this cold air is wringing out just a few flakes as well. We'll do a quick road update, and then we'll get you to what's going on with your forecast. Number one, things to know about road conditions. This is a no travel advisory. No travel is advised up there in northeast North Dakota as we head into the evening hours. The roads there have been quite difficult, and now we've got the wind and the terrible conditions causing issues on area roads. So the no travel advisory, I'll go ahead and extend this, is for zero visibility and reduced visibility and areas of near zero visibility. So let's take you to the cameras. This does include I-29 in northeast North Dakota as you're heading toward the border. So as you're heading up north, this is what it's looking like on these roads. We do have some snow falling. You can see through the lens of the camera there, but in places there is reports now of near zero visibility for this entire area. Now, as you look out towards Cavalier, here's a look at the camera there. Again, it's pretty rough and tumble as you see basically some winds and wind-driven snow. Here's the road surface on, that's Highway 5 there, and that has taken on some significant snow there. So the wintry travel conditions continue there. As you get up here into the Pembina area, we do have some areas here that are also seeing, oh boy, just a lot of ice on the road. You see there, that's compacted snow and ice on Interstate 29 there near the border crossing. Now, do these conditions here extend southward? This is a look in the Grand Forks area for those of you traveling through there, and you can see that the wind and the snow starting to loft up in the atmosphere just a little bit. So we got some fresh falling snow. We also have the snow that was light and falling throughout the day that's blowing around, but this is clearly new snow on its way down now with this Arctic cold air mass that's punching through. Here's a look at West Fargo on the I-94 corridor. The snowflakes, there's a few of them. The visibility is better here in the south, but by and large, we do have some wintry conditions. Jamestown, where we see yellow roads there, those are icy road conditions reported there. Temperatures are now approaching that threshold where the products put on the roads, salts and brine solutions, will freeze themselves. So they're not going to be effective anymore at treating the wet roads that we've had throughout the day from our light snow. Keep that in mind as you're traveling through. Now, a quick look at Minnesota just to kind of confirm what's going on along the neighboring counties here as we look into northern Minnesota, northwesternmost Minnesota to be exact. Let's get into Kitson County here. There are blue roads with a pink road showing up right here. The pink would indicate that the road is completely covered with snow and ice. Here's near the Emerson area. This is St. Vincent. You can certainly see the snow blowing across the road surface. We're going to have gusts overnight of 40 miles per hour. So tricky travel conditions. Pillow drifts are starting to form on the roadside on the upwind side of the highway right now. So again, this is a look at it's Minnesota 171 at St. Vincent. As we look up in Lancaster here, look at this. Wow, that feels like Star Wars, right? You're flying through this. This is not fun driving here. So some of these snow bands are obviously just a little bit heavier and making visibility quite challenging. How about we check out this area here? This is Donaldson on the Highway 11 corridor here, and we got flakes horizontally flying. So there are areas of tricky visibility. Do you have a question? Yuck, 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 says Brenda Bonnie says yuck. Okay, we got a lot of confirmation here. Kristen saying hi from Bagley. Let's check out the situation as we go farther along the Highway 2 corridor here. We got that pink, that's completely covered roads between Crookston, East Grand Forks, and Fisher. And now there is a few flakes flying in that area as well. So just take it slow on these roads. It's not something we're not used to seeing. But by the way, these little purple triangles that you see here and there across the routes, this is Alexandria area on I-94. That is a crash that's reported there. That is a westbound I-94 crash that's taking place there. We have more out near Hibbing. There is a northbound crash in Hibbing. This is telltale that we got problems. Here's the Highway 10 corridor near Wadena, and we have a spun out vehicle on westbound Highway 10 for breaking weather information right here on Hutch's weather. Now, I do want to point out here as we get into west central parts of Minnesota, we're seeing some covered road surfaces and icy road surfaces being reported in this zone as well, down near Ortonville. So again, the cold temperatures diving south and it's turning wet roads into very, very icy ones. Okay, let's see if we have any. Natawash joining. Okay, so that's a look at our road conditions. Highway 2 got tricky spots. We have tricky spots in northwest Minnesota. Highway 11 has tricky spots. Highway 10 and Interstate 94 getting a little slickery as well. Let's talk about a couple of things. Thing number one, it's that time of year where we have dangerous temperatures out there, and I want to make sure you have a very good amount of equipment in your car for a survival kit. So let's go over a couple of things that could be handy for you. Now, if you get stuck like this poor individual here, you'll want a shovel. Candles and matches are perfect because if you happen to get stuck and your car is out of gas, the engine doesn't run, and it's this dangerously cold, you want to stay warm. And one way you can keep occupants in your vehicle warm is by lighting candles. Now, you do not want to sit there and, survive the cold only to get carbon monoxide poisoning. So it's a good idea to crack the windows. Extra blankets, making sure you have coats, hats, and mittens for everybody on board, flashlights and batteries. Make sure that cell phone and a cell phone charger to charge your cellular device up is in the equipment list that you have. Food and water, definitely a must if you get stranded for any length of time. What does Perham look like, Maxine? Let's go into that. Thanks for all the information, and thank you for watching. Clarine saying thank you. And how is North Dakota looking? Crystal, it does look like we do have some very cold, brutal temperatures taking place. There's a band of snow in eastern North Dakota showing up right now. And out west, we have some icing roads with these nasty conditions. So here is what we have going on. Let me pull up my view of the latest. This is a look from the National Weather Service. This is a new product. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this because it's really kind of pulling teeth here or whatever. We used to have a product from the National Weather Service called a wind chill advisory. Now it's a cold weather advisory. It's not just wind chill. We have cold temperatures. So this fits the bill, whether it's cold weather caused by wind chills or cold weather caused by an Arctic incursion. It just replaces both of those with one simple product. It's cold out there. The danger tonight is wind chill. The wind chill is a concern. If you are anywhere in this area, I want to make sure that you have that survival kit in your vehicle. Now, down south, it's no picnic either because we have some cold temperatures. Let's get to the forecast. I don't want to make you wait for these details. Here we go. Number one, a couple of things to keep in mind with regards to our temperatures tonight. Let's look at air temperatures first. By morning, the actual air temperature is going to fall from around those teens and 20s that we have now in the Southern Valley to single digits. We'll be at 0 when you wake up. And this is a 7 a.m. snapshot. Sunrise in Fargo, 8:02 as we approach the day with the least amount of sunshine in the entire year. And all these purple areas here, just nasty cold. We're going to have some cold weather with wind chills in that dangerous category out there. But again, air temperatures will be in the teens below. Up in northwest Minnesota, particularly Kitson County, Pembina and Cavalier counties in northeast North Dakota will be challenging 20 below. Walhalla, that's you. Rock Lake, Candu, that's you. And for those of you in Bottineau, you know the story. It's just going to be one of those days where the snotsicle formation is going to be primo. It's going to happen quick. West-northwest winds, 15 to 30 miles per hour. What does that mean when we have a 15 to 30 mile per hour wind with some gusts as high as 40 miles per hour for your wind chills? Let me show you. This is Frosty the snowman, and if you look closely, he definitely does have some snotsicle formation going on there. So that's something to keep in mind, that we will have that chance. This is not funny weather. We don't want you out there in this kind of weather because skin can freeze very quickly when you have wind chills that are approaching 40 below zero at times with these gusts. 30 belows, Grand Forks to Devil's Lake, Minot, 24 below. Your tongue-slapping weather there, unbalmy, we'll call it in northeast Montana, with wind chills that'll be below zero. So all the way down to Watertown, we'll have wind chills that'll be crazy. If you're heading to Minneapolis or northern Minnesota, the wind chills will be pretty batty there as well. Not friendly for mosquitoes, that's the good news, but also not friendly for us humans or our four-legged pets like Pedro and like my good feline forecaster over here, Leonardo DiCaprio. We got to make sure that we're taking care of our fuzzy four-legged friends. Make sure their water's not frozen. Give them someplace warm to stay if you can, because this is dangerous weather for them too as well. Now, look at your temperatures in the afternoon. Actually, we're going to go from 0 in the morning, the goose egg, and we're going to go down, and we're going to go low. How low will we go? Check it out. Air temperatures of 6 below for your drive home in Fargo. So this is the kind of weather where if you have a weak battery, you're going to know it. A weak battery with temperatures this cold and wind chills, you're going to have a hard time starting your car. So if you do have the old-fashioned plug-her-in deal on your car to plug in your block heater, that's a good piece of advice. Anytime it's below zero, that oil doesn't like it. So it's good to warm up that block. Winds tomorrow afternoon will be decreasing. We'll have decreasing winds out west. We'll still have 25 mile per hour winds here in the valley and into Minnesota. That's why our temperatures, well, we're looking at temperatures falling all the way down into the single digits, and we may drop into the teens below by your drive home in places like Langdon, Walhalla, and out here in, well, how about Grafton Park River? If you're in Lankin, it's going to be, the air's going to be spanking in Lankin because it's going to be cold out there for sure. So that's a look at our temperatures. Now, what does it mean for Thursday? The air temperatures will be the coldest on Thursday morning. Here's a look at those Thursday morning wind chills. And we still got snotsicle formation on the old Frosty the Snowman up here. Wind chills between 20 and 30 below. Not as many 40 below chances, but still a chance of snotsicles nonetheless in my forecast. With a wind chill first thing at the bus stop in Fargo at 22 below, 21 for Grand Forks, Jamestown and the James River Valley. There's a wind that blows through there. If you live in Stutzman County, that James River Valley, even the Cheyenne River Valley here, can really funnel those winds through. So, Anywhere that we typically get those winds funneling through our terrain in our terrainy areas of North Dakota, it's going to be wind chilly. Now, the trees will slow down some of the wind, but look at this. As we go in towards Rainy Lake and Rainier, Minnesota, 29 below for a wind chill in War Road, you're going to want to make sure you have the old bomber hat on at 28 below zero, maybe a pair of long johns, getting close to that kind of weather. Squirrels are hating the cold, Brenda says, and that's why the squirrels work to gather all their nuts as we go through fall, because Pedro, what? Okay, he's choking on a bone over here. So it's kind of like Christmas Vacation. All right, so that's what's going on over here. All right, Leora says slipping in St. Hilaire. There's no wind blowing snow today. That's good. That's nice. It's picking up. So as we take a look at wind speeds across our area, this is the idea. So this is the short-term forecast, but the long-term forecast has a big hitch in the giddy-up that's starting to form, and I've got an update coming for you, so please hang around for that. Let's check out a look at our wind speeds out here real quick as we swing on back to the current conditions. Here is a look at our current wind gusts, and where it's gusty is out west. Jamestown, 35 mile per hour gusts. That's causing your biting wind chills now. 25 mile per hour gusts in Grand Forks. No gusts to report in Fargo, but the winds are sustained and they're fairly fruity out there with a nice 10 to 20 mile per hour sustained wind with a few gusts higher than that. Notice the lull, you're right on the money as you go out towards Thief River, St. Hilaire, and Bemidji, out towards Park Rapids and Brainerd. There ain't a whisper of wind out there. It's fairly quiet right now with the winds taking just a little bit of a break. So again, we've got wind chilly air. What's the forecast? Well, let me show you when the wind really picks up. We're going to look at our idealized local forecast first, and then that big hitch in the giddy up that's coming. Let me show you the hint of what's coming, because what's coming is not fun. Here we go. Let's go ahead and look at, looking here, looking there, looking everywhere. All right, here we go. Okay, this is the latest model that's coming in, and I got to tell you, we got our flakes of snow that are flying right now in Fargo. That chance continues. When these black lines called isobars get closer together, then we get gusty. Remember, Jamestown now has gusts over 30 miles per hour. The isobars are close together there. All the way up into the Kitson County area, we got the no travel advisory up in you folks out there in the Pembina area as well. So the wind will pick up right here in the Red River Valley as we go through the overnight hours. The snow chances move off into central Minnesota. When we rise and shine first thing in the morning, we'll look at 12Z, that's 6 a.m. So as you're getting up and the trash folks are coming around to get Hutch's trash can tomorrow morning, the wind will be strongest in the valley and out into Minnesota. Isobars are farther apart out here across parts of North Dakota, so the wind might be taking a little break in places like Minot, Bottineau, Belcourt, all the way out towards, say, the Devil's Lake Basin, maybe a little bit lower wind speeds there. So that's good. So the cold air will be taking hold as we showed you on the temperatures. The wind will be strongest in the valley and east as we go through your day tomorrow. The wind will eventually be decreasing here as we head into the night. There's still going to be a north wind, but because air temperatures will be in the teens below, it's over for wind chills. That doesn't take a lot of wind for us to get 20 to 30 below wind chills as we head into your Thursday morning. What about when the vertical and horizontal meet? Vertical. Crystal, let me know what you're asking about the vertical and the horizontal. Are you talking about the lines on Hutch's spaghetti map here? So there's horizontal lines. These black lines are the isobars. Okay, so the closer they get, well, the stronger the winds are. They cannot touch by definition. Each one of these lines represents a point with an exact value of pressure, so they don't touch. Yeah, Crystal's talking about my lines here, likely out in western North Dakota if my memory serves. So let's go ahead and check that out. What this means is that when our winds are blowing this way out of the north and these other lines are crossing in more of a horizontal fashion, this is the cold air. So this blue line here is cold air. This blue line is cold air. It's kind of a spaghetti plot, but what this shows is this blob of cold air centered right here over Winnipeg and Brandon, Manitoba. The wind is going to be blowing it right down the Red River Valley, right down the James River Valley, and that's what that means. Great question, Crystal. I hope that helps. That's a look at that part of our forecast. Now let's change gears. Let's look ahead, shall we? Here's the hint. The hint is there's beginning to be a sign of a snow system. Yep. It didn't look like a big deal it looked like a Canadian winter weather event, but now there could be a chance for some Monday snow. I'm putting the percentage chance of a snowstorm in our area at 25% right now. That's my number. Where am I putting it from? I'll let you know. One model out of 4 that I looked at showed a winter event here in Minnesota and North Dakota. Wind, heavy bands of snow, rain before it all gets going. One of them fun December events that means no fun for your travel or your roads. Monday will be the impactful day from morning right through and into Tuesday. Now, do I think it's going to happen? I'm leaning more towards not, but why do I bring this up? Am I being an alarmist? Am I trying to scare you? No. This is a 25% chance because 1 out of 4 models is showing it, but it's that European model. And I'm going to go to that right now. And we'll watch this together as time moves on, as time marches on. We'll watch it. Okay, so let's take a look here. As we go through the forecast period, what you're going to notice, there's the cold high pressure system that's going to visit, spend way too much time. It's kind of like sometimes when the relatives come over for the holidays, they overstay. It gets cold. Then that thing moves out of here. And then south winds come in and we start warming going into the weekend. That's my forecast on the 7-day, warming for the weekend. And then after that, here comes. Now, this little system skirts out of here and works its way through. This is Saturday. That one moves through, could bring some inclement weather to the region. That's not the one I'm talking about. The one that heads in on Sunday is a developing storm that will develop somewhere in the Rocky Mountains. Here's a look at a Colorado low. This was not there yesterday. It had Hutch today when I was here with my my bag of peanuts. Okay, and I'm looking at this and I'm like, that's a Colorado low. Colorado lows are something worth watching, not being alarmed about, but these storms grab moisture from the Gulf of Mexico, lift it up into the northern plains. So as this system sits here, wet air or humid air starts running north on these 30-mile-per-hour winds. That laces the air. For whom the bell tolls reference? Maybe, Michael. Maybe. I think it's sad but true. We'll move on. Now, let's take a look at this Colorado low. Look at the mountain snow taking place in Wyoming. If that transpires, that is no fun travel. This is Sunday night, by the way, midnight. This is not fun, okay? Now, as this puppy marches on, okay, where is it going to go? Colorado lows can go into the central plains, they can dive south, or they can come north. Okay, let's see what happens here. This is kind of an interesting, oh no. Okay, so here we have showers, maybe even some thunder embedded in these Iowa showers here, okay? Heavy winds across South Dakota. Do you see the heavy band of snow? This is co-located very close to the low pressure center at the surface, and an upper level low aloft is causing some snow on a secondary band. This really is quite detailed here. Will it end up happening like this? Probably not. But the track of this low is going to be critical. This is now Monday noon. Conditions Monday noon start deteriorating. Afternoon, we have this. If this transpires, this would be enough for a winter storm with very strong winds, very heavy bands of snow, and it moves right through the Southern Valley, all of us having a chance of snow with the exception of western North Dakota where they need the moisture the most. Huge wind and snow as we go into Monday night, and by Tuesday morning, it's finally exiting, still remnant impacts. Might not get a white Christmas, Ethan says. Maybe not in some areas, but if this happens, what do you think? This is a pretty big system. That's why Hutch's hair on the back of his neck stood up just a little bit, and it's something that I want to talk you through. Now, as a meteorologist, I know very well that it may not end up being that big of a deal, but if it does take this track, here's by Tuesday morning, the snow co-located with that low, look at this laying down tracks of white for a white Christmas in most of eastern South Dakota, most of northern Minnesota, most of the southern Red River Valley, and that other narrow band could leave a healthy band too. The track is uncertain. The timing is becoming more certain because the other models did have a chance of a storm system making its way through. Here is a quick peek at one other model just to say, not all you don't need to, sell all your stocks and buy stocks in milk and bread. That's not what I'm saying. I am saying, though, that the American model And 3 other models say not as big of a deal. Let me show you the Canadian model here just as a reference. And this one has a similar thing, similar pattern. Here's this little system escaping through the weekend and going out through Minnesota. Both models agree that's happening. Here's the big storm system rolling out of British Columbia. And as that moves out, the European model had a low forming here in Colorado, which can and does happen. Here, this one takes this storm system right along the international border, bringing some moisture. There's your snow. There's your main low. Here's the Colorado part of the low, but it's going south. Not an impact for us. So there's a wide variety of solutions or possibilities here. And when you look at Hutch's 7-day planner, I will show you this, and I will continue to give it some sort of a rating of a chance to try to communicate to you that there is a chance that it could go the other way as well. But it is looking like a storm system worth you knowing about and knowing that I'm watching it for you, and you're not seeing it on other stations or places or locations. And the reason is because still a lot of uncertainty there, but we're watching it. So Burr weather, tomorrow morning, you wake up wind chills around 20 to 30 below for most, 40 below for some. Falling temperatures throughout the day, 6 below. You're going to say, why is the high temperature here saying 6 below and that's colder than the low? No, this is not the low. This is what you can expect in the morning. You can expect 0 and falling, and you can expect 6 below and falling into the teens below for Thursday. But then we get normal rising temperatures back on Thursday. Afternoon temperature of 1 above. That'll feel nice. We're on our way down, but not too low as we head into your Friday. I've got 1 below here. We're going to start seeing a south wind moving in. That's going to keep temperatures steady, is my opinion. It's different than others' opinions. That southerly wind will stir the atmosphere and keep us from getting too cold. However, on Thursday evening, we might see temperatures around 10 or midnight dipping down to 5 below, but we're warming up by morning. And we'll warm up nicely. 1 below on our way to near 20 for Friday and for Saturday. Then on Sunday, how about celebrating 30s? But 30-degree air can hold so much more water in it than air that's 1 degree. So we'll have more moisture in place here as we enjoy our south winds and warm up for the chance for some significant and meaningful snow. Oh, and more down arrows on Hutch's map. Never really a good thing. Brenda says, woohoo. And low band curved, then greatly expands east. Oofta, hope that one doesn't pan out. Michael, yep, that's exactly right. The East Coast is getting these no matter what. These storms, when they move through our area, are early in their formation, usually. Alberta clippers are not that big of a deal, typically. They're more blow than snow, as Hutch is saying. More blow than snow most of the time because they're just forming as they move out of Alberta into North Dakota. By the time they get to the Great Lakes, they explode a lot of times and become more energetic, and they pick up more moisture. Last year, Christmas was boring with no snow on the ground, Ethan says. You know what? I think so. And Brenda says, I prefer fat isobars, the kind that are far apart. Me too. My hair follicles love it more better because I don't look like that. Yeah, very hairy. It's hard on our follicles. That is a look at your weather. I want to point this out. If you haven't visited Hutch's Weather lately, please do so. I've made some fantastic changes with the help of my very qualified and expert web designer. And his name's Joe. Drop a comment. Say, thanks, Joe. We love the work you're doing. If you like it, here's what I want you to do. If you head over to hutchesweather.com, you're going to see a picture of a frozen claws. Go there now. Check it out. I want to do this together. Now, on hutchesweather.com, you're going to see at the top of the page, oh no, there he is. And that guy, I'm telling you, those look like snotsicles to me. I didn't draw those on there. This is the perfect emoji for our weather here. Yep. It's going to be cold and there'll be snotsicle formation. You do not want to stick your tongue on a light pole outside there. I'm speaking to people like maybe my good old buddy Mike Morkin, folks like that. Just don't experiment with that kind of stuff. It's going to be too cold. Now on Hutch's Weather, I have here some additional information for you. Share this with friends. I'm trying to make this the one-stop shopping. At the top of the page right here is a link to road conditions. So the road conditions that we went over and looked at DOT cameras, you can do right here on Hutch's Weather. And it's not just North Dakota, it's Minnesota, it's Montana, it's all the way down to Colorado. And I was requested today to add the state of Arizona to this map, because we have a lot of snowbirds in Arizona that want to see their road conditions, and Hutch, they say, does the weather better here. So why not? Check out Hutch's weather. You can click on the road conditions page up there, a link up there rather, and it'll take you to the latest road conditions. But this little snowman guy here has some additional information for you. If you click on this button here, it's going to expand, and here's a little write-up. I have some ideas of what you can expect by morning. You can scroll through and see your 7-day planner with the full explanation, but not only that, it talks about the week ahead. There's our potential for a winter storm as we go into the weekend ahead. Right now, you can look at that and read it as it says. There's a better chance it misses us than hits us, but I will watch it and keep you advised. Wind chills, go ahead, wake up, see what you got. See how good Hutch did here with the forecast. I put it out there for you all to see and see where it gets the coldest. Let me know how things go. Take a picture of your thermometers and share with all of us by uploading it on Hutch's Weather and hutchesweather.com. That is a look at the website. Again, you can see the interactive radar showing you where it's snowing and where it's blowing. You can find out the latest video updates right here on my page. If I'm live, we got the sirens here that let you know, woo, 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 woo. Hutch is going live right now. You can click on the link at the top and see the live going on. That's a look at the weather. Down a little bit lower on the page, you can also upload your photos anytime, anywhere. We've got a lot of dandies out there, and there's been some significant snow up north near Rainy Lake, Lake of the Woods. Nearly 8 inches of snow fell in the last day or two, and now we're turning it cold, so that's going to have an impact. And sometimes when we get cold after snow, that's not necessarily good for ice making. So if you're having visions of sugar plums dancing in your head, or visions of going ice fishing, please check the ice. Don't get into a situation when you have that insulating snow, it can take even longer for good ice to set up. So that's a look at your weather. I'm meteorologist Hutch Johnson. I look forward to your input on the comments below. I read them all, let you know that. And also, if you have questions, I do my best to answer as many as I can. Merry Christmas, everyone, says Ethan. Merry Christmas to everybody here. Yep, Joe definitely as an asset for the forecast page that we have. I appreciate his contributions. And Leora, I appreciate your acknowledgement. Thank you so much. All right, let's go ahead and take a look then at what you need to know. Number one, as we unfold this cold weather event, you can get the latest on hutchesweather.com. You can also follow Hutch on Facebook. It really does help by clicking the follow button on my page. I've seen a lot of a spike here in the last month or two because we're covering weather and we're covering it the best I know how. And a lot of you are hitting the follow button. It makes a huge difference. It tells the folks at Facebook more people want to see Hutch's content, and it helps them share it to more. Also, subscribing on my YouTube channel does the same thing. Thank you so very much. Stay warm. And invite your pets in. Take care of your furry friends tonight because it's cold out there. Pedro and Leo want to remind you of your four-legged furry friends. But for now, have yourself a wonderful night. Check back in later. And again, I'll keep you updated right here on the potential for wintry weather early next week on Hutch's Weather.